You are listening to the We Hired a Sitter for This podcast.
We hired a sitter for this.
We have a roster of like 7 sitters.
I'm spending $3,000 on paints.
Do you go to therapy?
Never have, nah.
There was a small fire. I put it out.
Real talk, the stakes are too high with my baby.
Comedy, parenting, married, life.
We do it all.
I'm a dad and I'm busy.
I have an opinion. I don't know if it'll be right, but
I'm Patrick.
my name is Gastor.
We hired a sitter.
Hey everybody, it is episode 159 of We Hired a Sitter for This. My name is Patrick Holbert.
What's good? My name is Gastro Almonte.
And it is a sunny, summery October 22nd, 2024. I like name dropping or date dropping the date because this episode's coming out tomorrow, Wednesday, the 23rd.
Oh, I was about to say. I thought you was like time stamping so they could see how off schedule we are when this does come out.
Life is a mess, so I'm like, oh shit, I gotta do a podcast. I hit you up yesterday. I was like, I hope he can do it. And then I was just like, I guess tomorrow morning I'm just gonna set up the stuff. It might be a solo podcast. I invited Ross to come on. She wanted to do a Set the Record Straight episode. She has a big bone to pick with me about something I said on the podcast.
I love that.
This is a correction. This is the ombudsman is coming in here to give a correction to the viewer, to the listener, to the producers. Ross was never a real deal smoker. I think in the last episode or 2 episodes ago, I said something about Ross used to smoke. She was like a real deal smoker. I was wrong. I was misinformed. I never knew her as a smoker at all. She didn't smoke when we met. Maybe she had a cigarette or 2 or whatever, but apparently she was never a career smoker.
What is a non-real deal smoker?
So she says in college she got into smoking. She got 1 pack of she for a month she smoked a half a pack a day for a month and made herself so sick. And then she just smoked sometimes when she drank. And I said, wait, how long did you smoke for? She said a month. I was like, you were a smoker. You were a smoker for a month. And it sounds like a real deal smoker if you were smoking half a pack. So anyway, she wanted to come on to defend herself. We were joking yesterday about doing a Set the Record Straight episode where she could push back on any shit you and me have been talking.
I love it.
And
don't include me in the shit talking. I didn't do any shit talking.
She had something about she didn't like that we were talking in one episode about how we are often right in our arguments with our significant others and that we should audio record. We should record the fight so that we can then go back and listen to how wrong exactly the other person is. And I
stand by that, but also I stand by Ross's right to do that too.
Yeah, totally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she did not appreciate it. She thought we both sounded like idiots.
Okay, that's fair.
But hey, listen to this. I tell her, come on, let's do the podcast. I got to get one done before I go up to Connecticut. And she said, okay, sounds good. I had to go see a client yesterday in the city. And while I'm there, I'm thinking about topics I could be talking about with her and I. And then she says, hey, I don't think I have it in me. I don't really feel like doing it. So invitation extended, offer extended, open door policy. And she's the one who wants to set the record straight, but then she also wants to cancel on me. So
she's a good lawyer. You know what I mean? She's
yes.
Getting more time to get more witnesses in order.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Change the list, see who's coming.
I can't wait to hear how she disagrees with how I just explained how that happened yesterday. She's going to say, I never said I actually wanted to record. I just said maybe, which I think is the truth. She said maybe. And
I find it funny that she thinks I disagree with being an idiot. I openly say I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm doing half the time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty knowledgeable at Yankees 1990s baseball.
Yeah.
Sandwiches in Brooklyn and Queens, and that's pretty much my range of knowledge. That's it.
That's not a bad resume.
I'll take
Yankees
it.
Baseball, sandwiches.
That's it. I know what I know.
And what was the other one? Hip hop knowledge?
I'll take that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's about it. You're right. Everything else I would defer to Ross.
Yeah.
So I'm not denying that at all.
No, I'm 1,000% afraid of her, and
this is actually why I want to incorporate the recording situation. Because when I'm right, it is a rarity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to commemorate the occasion. My wife is consistently right.
Yeah, you want your jersey in the
yeah,
rafters.
Real talk, man. Like every now and then, like, yeah, Jordan scored 30 every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not, but like when BJ Armstrong goes off,
yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to commemorate that occasion. So
I was correct on February 15th, 2017.
You're right.
That's a Valentine's Day, and I said something right.
Amen.
Let the record show. But yeah, never was a real smoker. And she smokes. She actually hasn't had many cigarettes in the last couple weeks. I haven't seen her go out to the roof in quite a while. Although Franny did smell it on her recently. She goes, "Dad, Mama, what's that smell?" And Ross was like, "Oh, it's nothing." And she goes, "You smell like Grandpa." And I don't know. Actually, I don't know if Franny said that or if I made the joke that she thought that, because she knows my dad. My dad smokes. She saw my dad recently. He was smoking. We pulled up to Grandpa's house. Well, my sister's house, which is where Grandpa's tractor shop is, and it's nighttime. It's dark, and my dad is out there working at like 9 o'clock at night. He also had a bottle of something or other in his hand. He's out there working, and he hears us pulled up. He comes out. He's smoking. And he's very sweet with her. He loves her. They have a nice moment. We chat. And then she goes, we're walking away. She goes, "Hey, be careful with that thing." And he's like, "What?" She's like, "That thing, be careful with it. There's fire inside of it." And he's like, "Yeah, I know." So I like that she breaks it down to its simplest form. Like,
that's beautiful.
That thing is fire inside of it, and it's going to hurt you.
Amen.
Will it change his behavior? No. Yeah.
Give him something to think about. I like it.
Yeah.
Compelling evidence against you, Ross. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
You have to bring a strong case.
Yes.
I'm rooting for you, but that's good evidence. Real talk.
She's got to come back. She's got to come back into the hot seat here. The viewers miss her. No, I think Ross has moved on past this podcast. She's on to bigger and better things. She's doing this past weekend. I did a lot of solo parenting because Ross was doing 16 hours over 3 nights of yoga teacher training.
That's awesome.
Like next level advanced teacher training or something. So Friday night she was gone for 4 hours. Saturday and Sunday 7 hours, 8 hours basically. She's gone. She's the strongest she's ever been. She's like in fighting shape. She looks like Tomb Raider. And she will harm me if I don't watch what I'm saying on the podcast.
Real talk. You deserve it.
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't mad at that. That's dope, man. I like seeing I like seeing like people like achieving like levels of success that they go after.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like is there like rankings for yogis? Like,
yeah, I think there's a belt system. It's like yellow belt and brown. Oh no, that's karate. I don't think there is rank. There's definitely like hours, like you would say on your yoga resume or whatever. Did 300 hours of whatever training. It's like flight time, you know?
Yeah, that's just dope, man.
This is a 60-hour class, so it's 4 weekends of my fall will be like this. So in 2 more weeks, I'll be doing a triple header with Franny over the weekend. So I put out all the calls. I'm texting everybody I know with kids. I'm like, "Hey, let's have a play date. Like, hey, let's meet up. Hey, are you guys going to be around this weekend?" They're like, "What happened? Is he getting a divorce?" I'm like, "No, my wife is just getting yoga certification."
Good luck.
You got to go into the back catalog to like fill the time, you know?
Yeah. What's the deepest in the playbook you'd go for a friend? Like how like not close in relationship would you go?
Well, so 2 people I hit up are people I was close with here in Brooklyn, and I got to know through the drinking book club. These guys I love, but they both started families and moved to the suburbs.
Okay.
So one of them is up in Connecticut, and one of them is out in Jersey, and I hit up both of them on Saturday, this past Saturday, for the next day. Because on Saturday, my day was handled. It was a kid's birthday party, and then the after party at that kid's family's house.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, this is great. I got like 6 hours packed. Like,
yeah.
I just have to be there and make sure she doesn't stab anybody.
Yeah, you good.
Otherwise, she's going to play with the kids. It's going to be a good time. But while that's going on, I'm like, shit, I got tomorrow. I got to figure out tomorrow. So I text a few people. I text my mom and my sister. I'm like, hey, tomorrow's a great time to visit if you feel like it. They both say no because they're like, we are grown-ups with plans, and nobody does this last-minute shit the way you think people do it. I'm the king. I will admit this. I'm the king of last-minute plans. I'm just like, and you've had to deal with this, where I'm just like, yeah, we'll just figure it out as we go. I'll just have to like I'll make the clips next week, or once I get a couple of hours, I can do it. And with my family, like, yeah, like tomorrow's a good day. And people don't. I'm learning, don't operate like that. People make real plans with their lives. So anyway, I hit up like on Saturday. All the people I hit up about Sunday were like, I wish, but I can't do it tomorrow. So now I sent all the dates to all those people. Oh, the original question, how far back? So these two guys, yeah, I've known them both for a long time, and one guy lived literally right downstairs from me.
Okay.
And he now has a wife who's expecting. And
congrats, random dude.
Yes. I've said so much about how I know them. I want to be careful about names because I don't want to put their business out there.
But congrats. It's dope.
Yeah, this guy's amazing, and Franny loves them, the couple, and they have a little puppy and everything. So they you know how it is with suburbs people. They're like, come out, come visit us, and you're like, yeah, I will sometime, and you're like, I don't have a reason to go to Jersey, but now I'm like, please let me come to Jersey. So
this is one of my fears of leaving New York, that I become the suburb person.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like I'm ever begging people to see me.
Yeah.
I like the casual drop-in. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
New York is perfect for it.
Yeah.
I like having stuff to do that isn't an event.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's cool. Like, yo, we watching the game. You want to pop through? And I could casually say yes or no.
Yeah.
I feel like in the suburbs, when someone invites you, there's planning involved. Like,
yeah.
I can't blow that off. They spent 3 months looking forward to that day.
Yeah, once I'm Google mapping like hundreds of miles somewhere else, that event has to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Yeah, I mean, I had a friend of mine come in from Florida. They went to the old Studio Square in Queens. I think it's called like Pig Barbecue, Pig Blanket, something. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
But they were watching the Mets and the Yankee games.
Yeah.
So everybody from high school went there. I had shows.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know if I can make it. And I felt completely fine not making it.
Yeah.
But I made it for like, an hour. And it was cool. But I felt no pressure of like, I got to be here for this thing.
Yeah.
Because I knew that there was enough random friends of mine that would pop in.
Yeah.
It was in New York. You know what I mean? And it was a casual kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But I know if that same invite in Florida, that's like the month. Like they've been talking about that. They hired somebody to do cooking, babysitting. And then if I miss it, they talk about it for another month. You believe Gastor didn't come to the thing?
Yeah.
That we planned? I don't want that. I like that New York allows casual.
Yeah, because if you leave, you go somewhere else, and you put an invitation out there, you're asking someone, will you please cross state lines to come give us quality time? And you're like, the other person's like, I'm not leaving the state I'm a resident of to see your ass. Like, I'm good here.
And you made that decision. You left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I pay extra money to live in New York for that reason.
Yeah.
To not have to go there.
Yep.
All the cool stuff is near me.
Yeah.
You come over here.
I 2 weekends ago went to the West Point football game, which is a big event. It's a big event for my high school friends. So your high school friends are in the city, right?
Yeah.
All my friends are all over the country at this point. Many of them are still up in the Hudson Valley. And this West Point football game has become an annual reunion, a place for all the guys to get together, and now their families and their wives and their kids. Tailgate for like 3 hours before the game, go to the game, more tailgating afterward. It's a big event. I've gone like 4 or 5 times over the years. I brought Franny 2 years ago just for the tailgate, some snacks, and then we drove right back, just her and I.
Oh yeah.
And this time, I was like, get us tickets to the game. I'll see how she does at the game too.
Oh, Franny.
But yeah, we went up there, man, and it was a great visit with the guys. One of my buddies, this guy I grew up with, he lives in Arizona now, and he got engaged, and he's like, yeah, we're getting married in either February or March. We would love for you to be there. Bring the family. We're still deciding on a date. And that was like a very clear way for me to remember how easy life is without the family and the kid. Where when you're single, no kids, you're like, yeah, I'm going to get married vaguely late winter, early spring, not sure yet. It's a few months away, but we'll let you know. And I'm like, you gotta let me know now.
Yeah, bro.
If I'm trying to bring my wife and kid to Arizona, I gotta go forward on the calendar. And like I said, I don't like doing that. I like, let's figure this out as we go. But I'm gonna have to have a plan if I really want them to come.
Yeah, we gotta put in vacation times. We got either sick days.
Yeah.
I gotta call out. I gotta tell the kids, school, hey, he's gonna miss these assignments.
Yeah. I have a feeling it'll turn into me just going solo, just fly there, go to a party, and then fly home, which is fine, and my wife won't mind, I don't think. But it was just very funny to think like, oh, this guy, he's getting married in 4 months, but he's not sure when exactly yet, and it's across the country. Congratulations, Matt, and whatever your fiance's name is. She wasn't there. I think it's Chelsea, but she wasn't there.
Oh yeah.
So I haven't even met this person. I'm gonna meet this guy I spent every day in school with for 12 years. I'm gonna meet his wife the day they get married.
That's beautiful.
That's crazy.
That's life.
Life is weird, right? How
Real
you
talk.
spend so much time with people for so long, and then you just like go and do all this crazy shit far away from each other, and then sometimes you see each other and be like, listen to all this crazy shit I did.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? They're like, you're still doing that comedy thing? What?
Yeah, the nerve. Wow. Look at you. Yeah, I enjoy. I feel like we're at a disadvantage with that because people see the crazy thing we're doing, right? Like we're doing it in front of people, ideally. So like, they're getting a peek into the wild decision we made. But everybody got wild decisions. And I think that's kind of the fun part to kind of see like, yo, man, like I played dodgeball with that kid, you know, and like he's like a doctor or something in some weird state. Like, you know, like for example, there's a dude I played intramural football with, who I remember being mad at how athletic he was and not being able to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Super athletic dude. He worked out all the time. And I remember I was the quarterback. I passed him the ball. He hands a stone, just dropping everything. Cost us the championship. And like
stone hands. I haven't thought of that pejorative in so long. Come on, stone hands. I remember that.
And that dude's a plastic surgeon now.
Wow.
Real talk.
He
and
turned it around.
He turned it around. Real talk. And like not just like any, he's like award winning. Like,
yeah.
He's like the best plastic surgeon. It makes me wonder how, like, in his state, he's the best plastic surgeon, which I think means there's no other plastic surgeons.
Do you know what state he's in?
Yeah, I do. I don't know if that gives it away. Like, you told about privacy.
Well, so here's my question. Let's say you get injured and you need surgery. You go into the operating room and Stonehands is standing above you, and you're like, no, and they're just like, count backwards from 10. And then you pass out.
I trust that he's a good doctor. He's won too many awards.
Yeah, yeah.
But I also wonder, like, if I'm ranking the top 50 plastic surgeons in the, like, by state's best, where would his state rank?
Yeah.
If he's the best in that state.
Yeah, if you know, like, in his state, you know, everybody knows the rankings of, oh, she's a 10, she's a this, she's a that. Some states, they'll say, yeah, she's a 10 for where we are.
She's like a LA 4, but she's, you know, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So if he's in the state where the scale trends downward, maybe there's not enough plastic surgery happening.
Real talk.
Or maybe that's where you got to go as a plastic surgeon, where the demand is high.
Fair.
He's like, I'll turn year 3 into a 6.
Good
with
business
my
sense.
Stone hands.
I'm telling you. I'm just saying, nobody that dropped the football that much should be doing fine, like, surgery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he's like, if he told me he was like, yeah, he's a war surgeon, like he's cutting off like legs and limbs in the field.
Yeah, if he's doing amputations manually.
I'm with you.
If he's doing Revolutionary War medical techniques,
100% on board.
It's like, just chomp down on this bullet, bite the bullet, drink the whiskey. I'm gonna hack your leg off.
Real talk. I found these rusty pliers. Okay,
yeah.
But nah, he's like won awards and stuff. He does like face transplants. He does wild shit.
Whoa, dude.
You know what I mean? So like,
face transplants don't ever really, even if they work out, I'm like, is this better than what the alternative would have been? Have you ever gotten a good look at it? It's like the Michael Myers mask, and it's horrible. It's horrible. I really feel for these people, but
it doesn't quite fit.
The technology hasn't caught up with what the job is.
I agree.
It's like when I take my car to the muffler shop and they just like weld the pipes together. They're like, this will work, and I'm like, Thank God that's not my face, and nobody has to look at that. Like, it's really a hack job.
Oh, man.
Which brings me to Chimp Crazy. Are you watching Chimp Crazy?
I know.
On
What is
HBO?
that? What's Chimp Crazy?
So the director who made Tiger King made another series called Chimp Crazy, and it's about people who domesticate chimpanzees to live with them in their homes. And it's really warped. We can't even talk about it if you don't have any reference point.
Ross, I want you to know that you've heard the last 25 minutes of this podcast so far. The fact that you think that we thought we were not idiots so far, I just want you to be. This is us just talking.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You won already. Don't worry about it. You good. Let us have that moment in that pot.
Yeah. IQs are not high in this room right now. But anyway, it tells in one of the stories there. It goes on a tangent to the story that happened in 2006, I think, in Connecticut. I don't know if you read about this when it happened. Lady had a chimp that she had as a pet for like decades in her home. The thing gets loose and attacks her friend.
Okay, I didn't know that.
It's too disturbing to talk about on here. But the chimp, like, bites off the lady's face, basically. And
That's
I
wild.
think she ended up getting, I don't know if it was a face transplant or what, but she got major stuff. Like, it took her jaw and everything. It was like, she didn't look like a person after, and she survived. So that's what that conversation.
And she's on the show too.
They do a tangent and they tell that story while they're telling all these other stories.
I wonder what choice I would make in that situation. I don't know if I'd go like
just
face transplant. I might like lean into the scars. I think that'd be cool. I know guys kind of like it. I like the scars. I'd make up a more extravagant story.
Well, do you remember Roger Ebert also? He lost his jaw in a cancer surgery. It was like a whole thing, and they showed that once on TV. Something about not having your jaw as a human is so dehumanizing and so, like, it's just embarrassing. But you show up, you got no jaw. What are you supposed to say? What are you supposed to say?
Yeah, I feel like I would get a mask.
I feel like I'd say, just end it. I've been on this earth for 43 years. I've had a lot of good times. Just get me that space contraption that they're using over in Sweden. Have you seen this thing on it was on the news last
week?
What
are you watching right now?
Man, I'm looking at too much Reddit is what's going on. I think it's Sweden. This guy invented a capsule. It's like, it looks like you're going on a roller coaster or something. It's a capsule you get inside. No, it looks like a sun tanning bed or something.
Okay.
But it's airtight. You get in there if you want to end your life, and it just replaces the oxygen with nitrogen, and you very gently suffocate, and that's how you pass on. And they did a publicity stunt where this lady did it in the capsule in a forest in Sweden. It was this beautiful forest, and there's all these weird ass pictures of this capsule just in the middle of trees. And they're like, this is this end of life thing that this lady did. So anyway, if I lose my jaw, if I'm attacked by a chimp, I'll say it now. This is a legal binding agreement between me and the viewer, whoever you are. If I'm mauled by something to the point where I no longer have a jaw or face or skin or eyes, just bring me to Sweden, put me in a capsule. Good night.
Ross is gonna crush this conversation later. Yo.
She's got plenty other reasons to put me in the capsule, by the way.
I think I'm going MF Doom, or like I'm getting a metal mask.
Yeah.
That would be my whole character. I would take it off for Halloween. I like that idea of just like scaring kids. But I'm okay with face scars. I think that's cool. I actually used to want like a big scar, like from here to here.
Yeah.
Like as a little kid, I always dreamed of it, just having like I forgot what, like a cartoon.
There's also the guy from The Wire who passed away recently.
Yeah, Mario, right?
Yeah.
You talking about Omar, right? Yeah, right. Omar, yeah. He had a little scar. That joint was dope.
Yeah,
I think it's cool. It adds character. Yeah, but it has to come from a cool place.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the idea of you getting a scar like that from doing like light maintenance work around the building. You're like, yeah, I was actually just like I was getting some cobwebs off in the hallway. I was using a Swiffer. It was a Swiffer accident, and I got Swiffered on the face.
What happened with the spatula? You know what I mean? Just out of control in these streets. You know what I mean?
Which, by the way, can I give a couple apartment updates?
Yeah, we
right.
were interrupted by the update last time.
Yes, last episode, PC Regina showed up.
Yes, indeed.
She fixed the dryer. No, she didn't fix it that day. He got the part number or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Had to go get the part. Anyway, he came back the other day while I wasn't home. Hopefully, he didn't have sex with my wife. Very common plot twist in certain films on the internet.
Okay.
Anyway, he fixed the dryer, and it works. So washer dryer are working great now. Yesterday, or Sunday. Oh, this is I'll tell this as a story. So as you know, Sunday I had 8 hours to fill with Franny in the evening. So Ross's training was from 1 to 8 p.m., but it's really 8 hours for me because of her transit time, etc. So in the morning, I'm like, hey, let me deal with this bathroom faucet. The bathroom faucet got leaky like 5 weeks ago now. We turned off the hot water because that was the knob that was leaking. I was like, let me go on eBay. I'll buy the exact same faucet because they don't make it anymore. I find it. I buy it for $160 on eBay. It's really a $500 faucet set, something like that.
Okay.
The parts come, and I'm like, all right, all I need, and again, this is going to sound familiar to you. Gastor and I had a whole conversation before the podcast. This will sound very familiar to you, though. I'm like, I got the parts like a month ago. All I need is a few hours to put it in. And I'll get those few hours eventually. I'll do it. I'll get around to it. That's my motto in my career and my life. I just need a few hours. I'll get around to it, and we'll figure it out later today. Like that's how I've been living for, I want to say 43 years, but that's not true. You know what it is? That's how I've been living since I changed careers and became a comic. Before that, I was good at planning, taking things seriously, following through on my word. And ever since December 2013, I've just been fucking winging it, and it's catching up with me. Nobody likes it. Anyway, the parts have been sitting over there, and Sunday morning comes, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to take a stab at this faucet. I think this is what I said to Ross, and I knew once I said it, I was like, that's a fucking jinx if I've ever heard it. I was like, if all goes smoothly, this should take me about 40 minutes.
Okay.
And once it came out of my mouth, I'm like, I'm fucked. That's not going to be how it goes. And anyway, I bring all the parts and the tools into the bathroom. I get some dirty towels and sheets, and I lay it under the sink. I turn off all the water. I lay down, and I just start taking out the old parts from the old faucet. Because I looked at it. I watched a couple YouTube videos. I was like, I know what I'm doing. This is going to be easy. So I just start taking it all apart. And 5 minutes into this process, I'm like, I am an idiot. 3 nights ago, I'm laying in bed because you know how a healthy person goes to sleep. You think about all the things you should do with your life or your day, or you should have done different. You live in regret when you're trying to go to sleep, and that's what I'm doing. I'm laying in bed, and I'm thinking about the future. I'm like, you know what I really should do is just get down under the sink with a flashlight and just look at what's there and be honest with myself. And see if it's all corroded, because this kind of hardware can get so corroded and stuck that if it looks like that, I should just hire a professional because it's not going to work out for me. So literally, I'm literally laying in bed saying, just go under there with a light. Don't bring your tools.
Okay.
Because if I go with a light, then I'll just look. But instead, Sunday morning comes, I bring the tools, I bring the light, I bring the blankets, I lay down, I hunker down and get ready to work. I start taking the shit off. And right away, I'm like, this one's not coming off. It's like locked with like green corrosion. This one's not moving. This isn't budging. I start like wrenching hard at stuff. I'm like gonna break the sink. And I think my 40-minute time limit went off. And I said to Ross, I was like, we got to call a plumber. This is not gonna happen. So by the way, I entered the bathroom with a functioning cold water knob. Now nothing works. Nothing works because I turned it all off and I took it all out.
You know, for those of y'all watching, Patrick has hinted at a previous to the show convo. Patrick is a bit behind on some work he has to do for the pod. It happens. We've talked about it. We addressed it. We had a serious convo. And so far during this pod, he's told us about a few other things he's behind on, while also telling us about the terrible shows he's been watching. That he has no time to get these other things done. He'll get to them. But he's caught up a lot on like chimpanzee and monkey news. You know what I mean? I have not heard of any of these shows.
Those shows and those activities fall under the umbrella of marriage maintenance.
Oh, got you. Okay, got you.
That's like the glue. That's
So
not
ro-
even the glue. It's not even the glue. It's the fucking scotch tape barely keeping my marriage together.
So
it's chimp crazy.
you know what? I'm gonna win Ross's argument for Ross right now. So you telling me if I sat down with Ross right now, she would be like, "Hey, listen, I know you got a lot on your plate. You only got time to do one thing. If I get to choose, I want you to watch this chimpanzee documentary with me over having a working bathroom. 100%. You know what I mean? Let's watch this weird documentary, and when you get a chance, go in there and fuck up the bathroom a little bit more. You know what I mean? That's really gonna take us to the next level.
Yeah.
It's gonna elevate the romance.
Yes. Well, luckily, in my defense, she's the one who craves the trash TV. Like,
okay.
she put me on to Chimp Crazy. It is one of those shows where I'm like, I don't think I want to open this can of worms in my own life. Like, but
I feel you.
But once you do, it's
You're
like,
in.
I can't stop now. I mean, this lady's insane.
Yeah, I feel you. I make it a point not to watch those until like it's too much in the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Like I didn't watch the Tiger thing until like I couldn't avoid it. I was like, I gotta know what the hell everybody's talking about.
Your abuela's like, have you heard about Tiger King?
Tiger King? Gastor.
Yeah.
¿Cómo tú no viste Tiger King? I was like, all right, I'll watch it, yo.
Yeah.
Just for you.
Well, luckily, so Sunday I fuck up the bathroom, but I get online and I fill out a form on some plumber's website, and they're there yesterday morning. They're there. They
That's
dealt
awesome.
with it. $435 later, it's done.
yeah.
Which is just, you gotta pay the money, right? You
Amen.
gotta just get the professionals.
I do
sometimes.
give you props though for trying. I wouldn't have tried that like at all. That's a skill I've accepted I won't have in my life.
Well, I did it at my father-in-law, at my in-law's house during Franny's first summer alive. We went up there for 5 weeks, like a month after she was born, and it was the pandemic, summer 2020, and we were like, let's go up there for like 5 weeks, and I ended up doing all these chores around the in-laws' house, and I changed their bathroom faucet, which was easy because it was a one-piece thing. It was like this little thing, and
now, like low-key, you're surprisingly handy. I don't think people would assume that.
I'm a son of a mechanic. I worked at a hardware store for 3 years. My first job ever was roofing. I worked at a auto garage for a month in college.
Like you give off artsy dad, but like real talk, you got grit, homie.
I could do some stuff. I can also fuck things up. Like
that's fair.
I'm very good at like, I can do this myself. And then like I have a couple of microphones in the office that are taken like wireless.
Okay.
All taken apart because I wanted to solder some shit to fix it, and they've literally been sitting there dismantled, unusable for like a year now.
Would Franny view you as handy?
Yeah, because she's seen me. Like she also views me as artsy. Like she wants to make art with me a lot. I'm trying to give a specific example. Like there's been certain things she's asked me to fix, or like, can you like I can tell she views me as a capable person.
Does she view you as the artsy one, or are you both artsy?
Yeah, she views me like, I think she knows. Like Ross will definitely sit and color and whatever,
right.
But I do a lot more of that with her.
Because I've gotten the vibe that Ross is also of that, but I would have assumed you were the artsier parent.
Yeah, I think so. I'll take that credit. We'll see on next episode of Set the Record Straight with Ross Aaron. Yeah,
that's dope.
But yeah, so this sink is done. The bathroom sink is done. Still got to dry. I told the guys, I was like, I'm gonna send another form in because we got a couple other minor issues, but we just needed the hot water to finally function in there. So please do take the bathroom faucet for a test ride. See what you think.
Real talk. To the max, baby. Got you. I'm really curious now. Like, I know in my house the kids view me as the artsy one.
Yeah.
What are the things like when there's like a does she know now like parent specialties outside of that? Like, well, what are the things she goes to for us?
Yeah, I mean, we just went through this literally this morning. So we're also you're asking this question at an interesting time. Like maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, Franny became very like dad obsessed, like wanting to be closer with me or more cuddles from me or more interaction or whatever. I'm trying to remember how that where the shift was, and we went through the opposite a bunch before too. And like just this morning, she fell over here. Like we're doing like breakfast stuff, and she fell somehow. And when she hit the ground, and Ross came over, and she was like, "No, Dada, Dada." So I went over, and I'm consoling her a little bit, and I was like, Mom can take care of you too. And then she just like switches and starts yelling for Mom again. There's like a lot of emotional, I don't know if it's manipulation or just like testing. She's doing like a lot of like testing who she yells for, who can she get to react, who's gonna, that kind of stuff. But because for forever it was like if she needed love and nurturing or healing or whatever, it was always Mom. But just like I said, she's been calling for me a lot more. Yeah, and I'm curious how that will evolve as she gets older and she learns who is more interested in what thing,
Yeah, it's just I just find it interesting because it's like it's the person closest to your home telling you what your strengths are in a weird way.
Yeah.
Or what they see in you,
Yeah. Yeah, what about you?
Like I would say in my house, I'm definitely artsier one.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter would come to me with will talk with me more about art related things because I'm doing an art thing.
Yeah.
But there are art things that she knows not to come to me with. Like I will definitely like harshly make jokes about Broadway musicals, and she like does that with Gabby and my wife separately.
Yeah,
because she just knows, like this ain't Dad's thing, and he's gonna make a lot of jokes about it.
Which is kind of interesting because you love music, you love rap music, right? Do you view rap as fundamentally different from melodic choral ensemble singing?
I enjoy hip hop the most. Yes. I think it's different from other music, but I also think musical songs, like songs from musicals, are not good songs on their own.
Yeah.
Very rarely is a song from a musical just a good song.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're like really big into Hamilton. I think the music from Hamilton, the play, I think Hamilton, the mixtape, fire. I also think Hamilton, the musical, fire. Like seeing the thing, I could enjoy it. But when I came home the other day, they were just listening to the musical. Like it wasn't playing. They were just bumping. I'm like, you bumping a musical? Like this is crazy work. Like I paid too much for the sound system for this to be being used for this. So like I went on like a big like anti-Hamilton tirade.
What is Hamilton the mixtape though? Sorry to
it's songs inspired by the play.
Okay.
So like
but it's not the verses themselves.
Exactly. So like anytime they had a song idea in the musical and they had a terrible verse by Lin-Manuel on it, they would get an actual rapper to sing the song, and then Lin would be like, and like it would be a good song now.
Yeah, we're sort of an anti Lin-Manuel household. Because we now know his cadence from all the movies, like all the animated movies that we're sick of it, but like it's also hard because it's like, well, he's clearly so talented, like he made all these things, and these are like iconic Disney verses or songs or whatever, and he's made $1 bajillion doing it, but also like it when you hear it, like you know exactly what it is. And it's hard to not shit on. I'm
not a fan of it. I fully understand why Immortal Technique bullied him in high school. I think I get it. I think I would have been a bully too of him. With that said, I think his work is dope.
Yeah,
it's just not for me. In terms of the music, straight.
Yeah.
But the musical was fire. Loved in the Heights. I think it was slept on. I actually think it was the best of all of his works. But
so she's listening to musicals and you'll shit on it.
I'll trash on it. Yeah, I'm like, this ain't the move.
Yeah.
And then I'll judge her harshly on the fact that like she thinks this is good music.
Yeah.
And she'll be like, "You're being like a snob," and I'm like, "Yes." And then
You're being a snob. Yes. Yes, I am.
Yes, I am, yo.
I did have a moment recently where Franny, it was like out of necessity. I can't remember what exactly was going on. I just I needed her to sit and just watch some shows while maybe it was like made dinner or whatever. She stumbled on some animated character that doesn't speak any language. It's all grunting and giggling and whatever, and it's these 10-minute episodes, and it caught her eye, and she would watch it. I just let her, and then she when I had a minute, she asked me to come sit next to her and watch it with her. And I was like, I don't think I can watch this. And she's like, why? And I'm like, it's kind of for kids. And I don't know, he's not interesting to me. He's not really saying anything. I was like, can we watch something that I would also enjoy? Because she likes Bob's Burgers and a couple other shows that we both like. And she said no. And I could tell she was a little hurt that I didn't want to watch the thing that she thought was cool. And I thought that was kind of interesting to think of how that will be a theme.
Yeah.
Like that you just have to say no sometimes. Like I can't fake it, you know?
I've definitely been I've been more conscientious of that of late because we only have one TV in the home.
Yeah.
So on Saturdays in particular, they wake up before me, so they'll have a thing they're watching, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this shit.
Yeah.
But I gotta be fair. They got up before me and they're watching it. Why should I shouldn't just be able to trump them all the time.
Right.
And I've been watching animes with them, and not for me, but they are dope. I'm like, this is fire. I could see the quality of the animation, the storytelling, and I'm learning new things.
What's cool about anime is the music too. They really integrate. I mean, I don't think the music itself is very good, but they integrate music in a big way with anime films.
No, I've been impressed. Real talk. She's been playing some cool stuff. And it's more into what she wants to do long term. So
did she want to go to Comic-Con?
She mentioned it. I don't think. I think she realized she did it too last minute, and it was a little outside of the planning, opportunity for us.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely be doing it next year just because she made it a big fuss.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's into it. I got to do that, and also my son, while not into anime as a whole, is really into Ninja Turtles. Right. And that's always well represented there. Right. Our boy Nori had was at the Ninja Turtle booth actually.
Really?
Yeah, he I don't know if you know Nori Davis, dope comic. He one of his albums it has a comic book booklet as a CD.
Oh.
And it was animated by the guy who animated the Ninja Turtles the Last Ronin series.
Oh wow!
So
that's cool.
Yeah, so it looks incredible, and so they stood at the booth, and while people came over to see Ninja Turtle stuff, some people would see his work.
Did he move CDs?
I would assume so, but admittedly didn't ask. But I saw a few pictures of fans getting it because he'd be able to get both autographs, his and the animator.
That's cool.
But yeah, real dope. But stuff like that, I would if I would have known he was there, I would have definitely came.
Yeah.
Because I would have gotten to kind of show how all these worlds connect to my kids, and I think they would have found that interesting.
Which is something we also kind of have to do as comics now is find interesting ways of talking about things that you're into that connect with other art forms that you are into, and that's cool.
Hell yeah!
I would love to. Have I already said this? This sounds like deja vu, but I would love to hear a solo show from you, like a Colin Quinn-esque history of hip hop music told through the lens of a comedian.
I've thought of this actually. We talked in the past. There's two shows that I would like to do, but I don't know if saying them here makes me forced to do it, but that is one of them. And the other being a baseball centric story.
Yeah.
But the baseball one is super niche.
And baseball, but there's levels to it because you could tell your own story. Well, I guess with hip hop you could too. You had some involvement with that. Tell your own. So
with hip hop, I've always had this dream of telling the story of hype men. Instead of
the guy behind the guy.
Yeah, the guy behind the guy.
What was Busta Rhymes'
Spliff Star?
Spliff, yes.
Hell yeah. Real talk. I've had a dream of actually writing a whole TV show about a guy that only wanted to be a hype man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And like he had posters of the guy next to the guy on his wall.
Yeah.
And him putting out an album of just ad libs. And I think that'd be great.
It's like it's almost an instrumental album.
Yeah, like almost, but not quite. You get the
Oh, that's so good. That's great.
That might still happen. Real talk. I got that. Like that's in my vision board.
I mean, bare minimum, that's a TikTok video you should and could make easily.
Oh man,
that's great.
And I've also wanted to do a show about the Montreal Expos. I think their like whole story is
the
fascinating.
Sammy Sosa era.
The very end actually, but yeah, even covering that. Like I think that like there was like 2 seasons before they left that like there was a year where they like looked like they could win the championship.
Yeah.
And it was strike shortened, so we never got to see them get there. And the thing that most people don't know, even though the team was Canadian and very much loved by Canada.
Is that team totally defunct?
They moved to Washington and are now the Nationals.
Oh, yes.
They got bought out and are now, which is, again, like Canada had 2 teams and we took one and made it represent our country.
Yeah.
I think that's wild.
Yeah.
But
we absorbed it.
It's like, yo, give me that shit and we're going to make it rep our state capital.
That's
like,
hilarious.
That's crazy work.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know this, but until they disappeared, they were the de facto Dominican Republic team.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because they had like a ton of like really talented Dominicans, and since they were like a franchise with not a lot of money, one of the ways they were able to save is by like signing a bunch of young talent from DR.
Yeah.
So like there was like Pedro Martinez, Ramon Martinez, his brother were both there.
Yeah, I remember that.
Vladimir Guerrero, Moises Alou. The manager was Felipe Alou, Moises' dad. So like they had like a huge Dominican contingency.
It's so interesting how kids like me were introduced to Dominican culture through baseball, because I can remember trading Moises Alou cards and hearing about Sammy Sosa and Reynaldo Ramirez. Who was it?
Pedro and Ramon, the pitchers.
Ramon.
Yeah, like Ramon was the guy that they thought was going to be the best pitcher ever. He was like 6'3".
Yeah.
He went to LA eventually and had a couple good years with the Dodgers. But Pedro, who was like his like out of shape short little brother, ends up being the Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He goes to like the Red Sox and has like an incredible career. But
it's interesting how like that all those names it reminded me of baseball cards, and like I guess we knew, of course, that these were international players from somewhere else, but like it's just interesting that was my first introduction to these other
and now we out here all that reggaeton music you bumping, that's us, baby.
Yes,
you know what I mean,
which I heard actually 2 a.m. this morning. The loudest bass thumping through
that's the Bushwick, baby. Hell yeah, I love it. But yeah, those are like weird projects I got in my head.
Yeah, I love that. And I after finishing this documentary that I was working on for the last year and a half, like now I'm thinking about that with other ones. I would love to make a documentary about this person or this thing or whatever. And like hearing you say that about hype men, I haven't had that idea about rap music. There's this one specific rapper that I think would make a great subject for a film. And I'm like, I should just like get in touch and just start shooting stuff and make a thing. And you know what that leads to? That leads to me with a sink that doesn't work anymore. And
you can do these things.
No time on my hands.
You just got to schedule.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is.
Yeah. What if we cut?
I don't know if you were dismissing me or not believing in yourself, but either way.
No, that's how I respond to Ross when she tells me I just want to see action. Like, yeah, I want to spend more time with you, but like I want to hear specific plans being made. I'm like, okay, all right.
She's not wrong,
because I heard it already. I got you. I got 2. I've got 2 wives in my life who want more from me.
Gay. We out here, baby. Yo, me and Ross, we gonna push you to success, okay?
I love it.
At the very least, a working bathroom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, let's cut this one here. Do you have time to do another one?
Yeah, let's rock.
Because last week we did 45 minutes and actually feels like maybe a sweet spot to aim for. I don't know. You guys tell us, what are you enjoying about these episodes? There's a theory out there that nobody's listening to podcasts. So maybe it doesn't matter. But
who knows?
159. See you soon. Tune in next week for 160.
Peace.
Gastor for this.